Hey guys, it's Skylar of Taito Action. If you notice my voice sounds a lot cleaner, it's because I've gotten a new mic. The topic of today's video is update 9.21 of World of Tanks. A lot has changed in the update, so let's break down everything into sections. For starters, the FV-215B 183, otherwise known as the Death Star, which is what you're seeing right now, has been replaced with the FV-217 Badger, this tank. The main differences between, let's go to comparison and compare. The biggest difference, if you look, the damage per shot is a lot bigger on the 183, while if you look at the, let's see, where is it at? The average damage per minute is 3,390 versus the 1,866 on the 183. If you can also see that the 183 has a turret, the Death Star has a turret, whereas the Badger does not. The survivability is better on the Badger because of the massive increase in frontal armor. And the biggest reason why they went from the Death Star to the Badger is because the tanks all before the FV-215B 183, like the Tortoise, AT-15, AT-8, those were all non-turreted tanks with fast-firing guns and pretty decent frontal armor. Whereas the 183 was kind of weird. I mean, everybody loved the tank, but all the tanks before it just really didn't fit the play style of the 183. That's why they replaced it. But if you were lucky to grab the 183 before update 9.21, you were actually able to keep it. As you can see in my garage, I'm able to keep the Death Star while they also gave me the Badger for free. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad they did that. On to the next thing, the new French heavy line. So if we go up to the AMX M445, you notice how there's now another line. The AMX, it goes up to the AMX 65T, the AMX M451, and the AMX M454. Now if we look at, so let's compare these two, the AMX M454, which is the new one, and the 50B. We see that the AMX 50B, let's actually configure this, because another cool thing about the MLE 54, it actually has two guns. It has the faster firing 120 and the slower firing, if you see the alpha damage 560, is a lot higher on the 130. So let's do that. So you see the damage per shot, if you're using the 130, is higher on the AMX M454. If you look at survivability, this is where a lot of people were happy. 100 more hit points. The whole armor is much better, especially frontally. The turret armor is a full 200 millimeters thicker than the AMX 50B. So you're getting a little bit more whole armor, and you're getting a lot more turret armor. So that's really nice. And I've played against the M454 already, and it's kind of annoying to go up against. But if you ever get the chance, try to hit that side armor, because 60 millimeters, man, that's pretty easy to pin. But if they're front on front with you, it's kind of hard to penetrate. Mobility wise, of course, since the AMX 50B doesn't have as much armor, it's going to have a lot better gun handling than the AMX M454. So that's one thing. The AMX 50B is going to, even though it is a heavy, it's going to play more like a medium tank compared to the M454, because mobility and everything's a lot less. Spotting wise, they're pretty close, so that's not that big of a difference. So next is, after we got done with the French heavy line, the customization menu is different. We can now customize, well, actually this is not a good tank. Let me show you with the turreted tank. So let's do this, right? So now if you look, we have all these colors, that we can change our tank. So instead of making the whole tank a specific camouflage pattern, we can now take, like, let's say tan, right? And see how it highlights the gun? We can click that, but since this has camouflage on it, let me take that off actually. So I actually forgot how to take off the camouflage. Anyways, you can take paint and make a specific color of the barrel that color. So let's go to, let me go to this. No, not that. Yeah, let's actually go to this, because if I'm not mistaken, you'll at least be able to see the color. So maybe they didn't add the color to that. So let's do chroma. Actually, T28. There we go. So yeah, you can add patterns to, see, it's just the gun, or just the hull or the turret. We can add, you know, different camouflage patterns to whatever, and then you saw the colors we could add. A lot of people, when they heard that you were going to be able to add different colors, people were getting kind of anxious because they didn't want to see, you know, purple tanks rolling around on the battlefield. So what they did, if you look, let me filter this real quick. If we go to purchased items, so if you notice, you see these emblems with the little exclamation point. If you look, it says non-historical. This customization item may not be visible to other players, right? Well, so let's say someone paints their tank purple. Well, if you go to settings and scroll all the way down, hide non-historical elements. So people that have like purple tanks, you won't be able to see them if you have this checked. So that's pretty cool. So if someone does want to customize their tank, you know, crazy, you know, purple everything, whatever, you don't have to see it if you don't want to. But of course, if it is historical, you know, all these are historical, you will see that still. So that's pretty cool. I do like the new user interface too, so that's pretty cool. Another cool thing with the customizations is that, like, let's say you have an emblem on a tank, right? And you sold that tank. Well, you kind of really wanted to use that emblem on another tank. Well, when you take that emblem off that tank, you can put that emblem on another tank. It gives you the emblems back to reapply on other tanks. So I really like that, because if you see here my GM Season 1 emblems, I had put that on my IS-6 and my KV-85 at the time. Well, I sold both of those, so I was like, man, I wish I could have, you know, I wish I could have put them on like my T110E5 or something like that. That would have been more cool. But now you can, because they actually give you your emblems back. So I really enjoyed that. But as for 9.21, of course, this is also the Christmas update too. This just came out today. That's pretty much it for 9.21. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe. There will be much more Wolf Tanks videos in the future. And if you're looking for a clan to get into, feel free to either direct message me over Wolf Tanks, or just search GSOH, like right there, and just send me a clan invite and say, hey, I saw your video or something. So that'd be really cool. Thanks for watching. This is Skylar of Taito Action. I'll see you in the next video.